Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a really late episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. What do you know, Fruit Loop?
It is late. That's what I know. It's late.
It's 11:15, but this is the soonest we could get together to do this. So here we are. And before we get started, we told you guys last episode that we have our very first sponsor, and we're super excited.
Oh, yeah. It's very cool.
So Two Cool T-Shirt Quilts is sponsoring this podcast and the episode tonight. And we're really excited because we're getting all of our T-shirts together to send to Andrea to make our awesome quilts with.
Oh, I know. Like, my closet is full of T-shirts because we played ball.
Oh, yeah.
Like sports.
I collect T-shirts. I have probably literally 1,000 in my closet. So it's kind of hard right now to figure out what I want to put.
Yeah, because you don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah, no. And there's some I just can't wear anymore.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. We're really excited. If you guys want to learn more about the quilts, go to 2cooltshirtquilts.com/prettyliesandalibis. And the cool thing is they don't just do they do memorial quilts. They do pillows, all kinds of stuff. I'm really interested in the memorial quilt for my grandpa.
Oh, yeah. Really cool.
Yep. Cool stuff. So we are grateful to have them on board and just super excited to get our quilts going.
Yep.
Big news today.
Yeah. But to start with, you had a dream, right?
It's really funny that I took a late nap. I just have not been sleeping good at night at all because of my hip. I find out tomorrow, by the way, what we're going to do and when. Hopefully sooner than later. I'm ready. But I dreamed about JJ this afternoon, and it was very weird. I dreamed that I was babysitting him, and he was kind of restless and just kind of bouncing all over the place. And finally just came and kind of curled up next to me and fell asleep, and it was very peaceful. And then I wake up and literally 4 or 5 minutes later, I get the alert about the charges.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was just very weird that I dreamed. That was the last thing I dreamed, and woke up 5 minutes later. Boom. We find out better late than never that she's been indicted by a grand jury on one count to commit for conspiracy to commit murder in the death of Charles Vallow.
Yes. When you text me that, I was like, yes.
I know. It was just unexpected. We knew it was coming, but sometimes it seems like it just drags on and on and on. And we'd actually heard about this right at the end of the year in 2020.
Yep.
They had mentioned that they were still investigating, and they anticipated the conspiracy to commit murder charges. And we got it today. So when was that indictment handed down?
June 24th. Yeah.
Yes. So what does the indictment say?
It says that on or about July 11th, 2019, with the intent to promote or aid the commission of an offense, first-degree murder, agreed with Alexander Cox that at least one of them or another would engage in conduct constituting the offense of first-degree murder.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So the state further alleges that the offense charged in this count is a dangerous felony because the offense involved and the discharge, use, or threatening exhibition of a gun, a deadly weapon, or dangerous instrument, and or the intentional or knowing infliction of serious physical injury upon Charles Vallow.
Everybody did. Anybody who's looked at this case knew this from the get-go.
Well, do you remember we did that really big 2-episode, and we called it Lie After Lie, the day Charles died.
Yep.
And we just kind of picked apart everything that was available for us to look at about the death. And none of it made sense ever.
Nope. Never has.
And then that's the whole body cam where you see Tylee with her arms she looked like she was closed off.
Yep.
Even though it was blurred, you could see her face was very red. I wish they would unblur that body cam footage. I know that because she was a minor at the time, they didn't. But I would love to see her face and her just how she was presenting herself. That had to be such a hard time for that child.
Oh, yeah. Well, I go back, and when you talked about that, I immediately went to Zach's, Adam Cox's son, Zach, his little statement he made about when he saw Tylee last, it was like she wanted to tell him something.
Yeah, and Grandma wasn't going to let that happen.
Yep.
She got her by the shoulders and guided her out. But, I'm sure this is a really, really bittersweet day for Kay and Larry and Crescia and Charles's sons and Cheryl. And, Charles has brothers, and I think they have another sister, maybe. I know they have brothers.
So. Yeah, somebody,
Yeah, sometimes we get... I don't want to say lost in the main case with the kids and Tammy, but for a while, because they didn't investigate this properly, it was a closed case.
Yeah, and we'll probably hit on this later, but this one was one of the first, if you think about it.
It was.
And it kind of took off from there and snowballed, and if things would have been different here, then...
maybe we would never be here.
Exactly.
Very unfortunate. I want to read a tweet that Crescia put out, which is Kay Woodcock's daughter and Charles Vallow's niece and JJ's aunt.
I love her.
Oh, she's so fun.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to meet her one day.
Yeah.
So she put the hashtag love always wins and hashtag justice for Charles Vallow. She said, praise Jesus and amen. Thank you all who support Charles, Tylee, and JJ in making sure justice is served to all the victims and our families. She also put a hashtag for Tammy Daybell and Joseph Ryan, who we agree and totally believe that was her first victim.
Yep.
So I want to read the statement from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. This was released today, the 29th. It says on June 24th, 2021, a Maricopa County grand jury charged Lori Vallow with 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, a Class 1 felony dangerous in the death of Charles Vallow. The indictment states that Lori Vallow, on or about July 11th, 2019, with the intent to promote or aid the commission of an offense, to wit, first-degree murder, agreed with Alexander Cox that at least one of them or another would engage in conduct constituting the offense of first-degree murder. On July 11th, 2019, Alexander Cox, brother of Lori Vallow, called 911 and reported he had shot and killed his brother-in-law, Charles Vallow. Charles Vallow died at the scene of the shooting. Alexander Cox died in November of 2019. Why don't you take it from here?
Complex, difficult cases of this nature take time to properly investigate and solve. I appreciate the tremendous number of hours the dedicated officers of the Chandler Police Department have invested, and my office is equally committed to bringing those responsible for Charles Vallow's death to justice. And that was stated by the county attorney, Alistair Adele. As with any charged crime, the county attorney's office is committed to ensuring the due process rights of a defendant while ensuring the rights of victims are protected and those who commit crimes are held accountable for their actions. And it says, please see attached grand jury indictment for additional details. A charge in a crime is merely an accusation, and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty.
Yeah, and we've said this in many episodes past. It just never seemed like they did much more than take Alex and Lori's word for it and kind of just close the case.
Yeah.
Because clearly there was some evidence that they found during the course of this investigation that brought them to these charges.
Yeah.
So the evidence was there. And on top of that, you have to consider, Alex had been in jail for attacking Joe Ryan with a taser.
Yep.
To me, if they had looked up the system, to see prior convictions and found out, whoa, he's already attacked one husband, maybe we should investigate this further and get search warrants for phones. Because I would venture to guess they probably found digital evidence.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like.
There's nothing, I don't think, from the crime scene or statement-wise that would lead them to this. So the evidence was there, and that has to be really, really hard for the family.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, what did you say?
I mean, if they would have taken this seriously from the get-go, and we've all seen the body cam footage of Charles talking with the police, if they would have just truly listened and looked at the evidence, then JJ and Tylee would still be alive. And Tammy.
And Tammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows what consequence may come of that. At least we got to this point. It's never going to bring Charles back, but it does hold her accountable. Alex, whatever happened to him.
I just want to say this. They are the dumbest criminals.
Oh, I know, right?
If all that is digital evidence, they are just morons.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of in our age bracket. They're in their 40s. We're not so up and up on what can be deleted. You think, well, if I delete this, no, it's never gone.
Yeah. What the world? Come on.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm glad they're that stupid, but sheesh.
And before you got here, I was kind of finished with all my notes, and I went back and rewatched some of that body cam footage where Charles was reaching out for help, where he was almost, I mean, I don't think you could have made it more clear she wasn't firing on all of her cylinders there.
Yep.
And at one point, there's a couple of these officers that kind of grin, just sort of, you could tell they're not taking him seriously.
Yeah.
It's just really, really tragic. And so what about, how are they going to handle this?
So she won't face the charges soon. Idaho, as we've said before on previous podcast, has first dibs. She will have to be extradited. She will have to finish the cases in Idaho. She does have an arrest warrant.
Right. But so when we say finish cases in Idaho, if I'm right, it doesn't mean she gets sentenced and goes to prison, and because it's going to be for life. My understanding is that once the cases in Idaho the trials have happened, or she takes a plea, whatever, and has been sentenced, then Arizona can come get her.
Yep.
And bring her to Arizona and do all the stuff, the initial appearance and the hearing where the charges and the potential penalties are read. The problem with this right now, obviously, is as far as we know, she's still incompetent and is at one of the state hospitals receiving treatment. Somebody had asked us if they thought she was back and forth, but no, they're too far away.
Yeah.
From the jails for her to be a commuter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be years before. It just depends on how fast all of this goes in Idaho with the incompetency and then the inevitable delays that are going to come.
Oh yeah, and the good thing, she's not going anywhere.
Right. No. Her last breaths of freedom were in her favorite place, Hawaii. Yeah. So I hope that lasts her the rest of her life.
Like I'll think back of some of our early podcasts where we're talking about, could she possibly get out? Could she reach, could she get bailed? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
She ain't going nowhere.
She's going nowhere. And like we said, there's always a chance she could be a charged for the attempted murder on Brandon, because she's part of the crew. She's one of the ringleaders. I would not be surprised if that doesn't give her another charge. But let's go down her current list of charges. We're getting a list here.
Yep. So conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. That's Charles in Arizona. 2 counts of first-degree murder for Tylee and JJ. Conspiracy to commit murder for Tammy, JJ, and Tylee. Grand theft. And 2 counts of conspiracy to conceal or alter evidence for JJ and Tylee. And that's Fremont.
Yeah. And so the one thing that we know is coming up, she has a status conference set for July 1st at 11 Mountain Standard Time. This is for the murder case as far as I can tell, but we're not sure what the hearing's going to be about. Scott Reich said it could be about the motion that Means filed about wanting sanctions for the state regarding the discovery not being sent, or it could also be about his wanting to be involved in her treatment. But that's not going to happen. He's not a doctor, and he doesn't.
So weird.
He doesn't have that right. I mean, he could say I'm her angel son, but they're going to say, well, we don't care.
Yeah, he is. This is so weird.
Oh, by the way, we have decided that we are going to break down and watch the Lifetime movie in the next couple of days, and we're going to do an episode on it.
Yeah.
We're just going to take one for the team, y'all.
Yeah, because we've heard some stuff.
Yeah. So they locked down the mental hospitals over the weekend.
Ooh.
They've been lifted, but 2 of the 3 state psychiatric hospitals were on lockdown. This is due to threatening calls they got over the weekend and Monday. I wonder who they were aimed to.
Exactly.
They also canceled evening visitations. And what did the Department of Health and Welfare say?
I am no clue because I don't have my paper.
All right, wake up over there. We're going to get you some coffee.
I done switched over. Mine didn't have anything left on it.
Oh, sorry. It says they remain in a heightened state of awareness and security status. They continue to work with law enforcement to evaluate the status of the threatening phone calls.
Ooh.
So that's all for Lori as far as the charges. I'm just so happy. It's bittersweet. You know, we've covered this case for 1.5 years now. You almost feel like you know these people that are no longer with us. I think in some weird way I don't know, you feel protective over them even though they're dead. And so when something like this happens, we are sad that the charges ever had to be, because that means they're gone. But at the same time, justice takes a long, long time. And sometimes in the beginning, they don't do it right, such as in this case. And mistakes are made and then bad things come from that. But we're just so happy that now we have Charles in the books saying my life mattered and you took it. So we're going to make sure you never go anywhere.
Yeah, we're going to hold you accountable.
Exactly. So that is all we have for this. We just wanted to make kind of a standalone sweet tea session on this to talk about it. Big news. It's funny because I really thought after her incompetency and Chad's initial appearance, it would get very quiet. And boy, was I wrong.
It is not quiet.
I've been in the studio 12 plus hours every day, which is good because I can't really walk well. So it's perfect. We got a TV hanging in here, and
you don't have to get you a better chair though.
I know this is not. Yeah, I'm not thriving over here.
Some kind of like a massage chair or something.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, see, that'd be great.
Yeah, so that's all we have for this. We're about to record a full episode, but we kind of have decided in our in our bigger cases, when we have news, we would rather do smaller episodes and keep it to where they're standalone. So if there's one little teeny tiny piece of news that isn't even enough for a sweet tea session, we would add that to and I guess they're more like mini episodes where, sweet tea is just kind of where, oh, guess what happened today? It's not a big deal. But the mini session is where even one piece of news we could talk about for 20 minutes. So I don't know. I'm messing around with the naming and stuff, but so we're going to, that's one of the things we felt we needed to do is to kind of separate our episodes to where it's one main case.
Yep.
And so that's all for this one. Great news. Hopefully we'll, I would love to see the affidavit that has all the evidence that was put before the grand jury. I'm sure it's sealed. But I'm curious to see what they found. What did it? What came where they said, we got the evidence, we can take it to a grand jury. I'm so curious.
Oh, exactly.
But our hearts and our thoughts and prayers are with is it Cole and Zach and Cheryl and Kay and Cresha and Larry and
that whole family.
The whole family. He had a lot of friends that were obviously deeply affected. It's a ripple effect. We know the main family members, but this guy seemed to be a very popular person and
he seemed awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just he seems like one of those guys that would just be a peach to be around.
Yeah, and all the stories you've heard, it give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah, and it's just so unfortunate that he got in her little spider web. He tried to get her out and tried to get himself and his son out, but anyways, tragedy. Just tragedy, but the long road to justice just got a little bit shorter.
Exactly.
All right, guys. We will see you soon. Have a good night.
Good night.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.